Good morning, everybody. This is Amy at Camp Freedom, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of intro and background information about this YouTube site, Off-Grid AMY717. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like. What led me to this cabin is pretty much a long road. I always had a passion for camping, and for many years, we had seasonal sites at various campgrounds. Mostly we're in wooded settings, which is what I prefer. Anything that's close to nature. I used to do a lot of boating, and when we got this camp up here, which I call Camp Freedom, in honor of my brother, who recently passed away, we switched gears. We left the water scene, and now we're doing the mountain thing, which is fine. You know, life is all about change. But from the desire to camp, I saw how much money I was throwing away for nothing, basically, for seasonal sites, having to share it with neighbors, and you got all the rules and regulations that go along with it. I wanted a safe place for my family to go in good times, bad times. It's just a safe haven. The search was long. It was not quick. Since I'm on a extreme budget, my search actually lasted years of looking for different sites or cabins or properties that I could develop. I was really restricted as far as the money that I was going to spend, and it seemed like everything was a trade-off. I looked at just plain land. I wanted something close to home, close to work, something that I could utilize both during my work week or my weekends. Wanted something close to water. I also had the desire to be totally off-grid, which is what I have here. And when you start listing all your wants and desires, your search kind of narrows itself, and you find yourself trading off ideal properties for conveniences, whatever. It was a long search. It really was. And most things I looked at was overpriced, required a lot more money being invested in it, and it led me to the camp where I'm at now. This camp is actually the same distance to my work as work is to my home. I'm not full-time off-gridder, and I know people define off-grid in so many ways. I'm going by the basic definition, which is basically I'm not hooked to public utilities. I generate my own electricity. I have a well here, and I do utilize generator power sometimes in the winter. But part of the trade-offs with this property was the price was right. I got 2 acres in a mountain. Although that doesn't sound like much, and it's not. The state land is right down the road from me. Back behind me is woods for miles. I do have neighbors. It's in Perry County, Pennsylvania, which I don't know if many people really know much about Perry County, but it's a county of good old boys, good old girls, good old fun. It's just down to earth, good people. And they are often misunderstood as rednecks or whatever. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but they're still good people. And I do have neighbors, and I get along with all of them just fine. There's other cabins around me also. I don't mind uh, being close to people because we're all here for the same reason. And that's peace and quiet and the ability to practice our God given rights, constitutional rights, and the list goes on and on. Like I said, money was a big driving force here. This mountain is very steep. Ideally I would have wanted something flat where I could plant a garden and do all kinds of stuff. And I'm not ruling that out. It's just part of a long-term plan. There's a stream that's within walking distance. It's got native trout in it. It's not big. I don't fish either. But it's a backup. I do have a well here, which was a big draw for me because that's just thousands of dollars I don't have to spend. Would I've done the well differently? Yes, definitely. I don't think it's dug deep enough, but the water is drinkable. I won't drink it then unless I have to. We haven't come to that situation yet. But I did test it, and it's a little murky looking, but it tests okay. Other than a level of particulates in it, but they can be filtered out. Uh, this property was previously owned by a guy that obviously was a drunk. He was a drug user. We found evidence of his drug use here, and I later found out that he did die in this property. And he had good intentions, I think, with everything he was working on here, but his execution of his projects was very, very poor. His solar was a mess when I got here. It didn't work. It had to be removed anyway because I did excavation because the site was so tiny there wasn't room for car parking. Uh, I don't know what to say about that. The upstairs was a trip. He had a hot tub as a shower. He had a toilet that basically dumped raw sewage outside somewhere. Big sink. I mean, there's not much room. This cabin might be, I'm guessing, 12 by 20. So the whole upstairs area was pretty much a bathroom. And I changed that over to a sleeping area. And I use porta potties. I do have an outhouse, which is also very nice. You can't find too many primitive properties that were set up with some of the basics. Although the solar didn't work, the panels did. So there was a lot of work. Really was a lot of work to do here. There still is. And I've been here a year now. And I got the property for under $40,000. It was an estate sale. And I originally had made up my mind what I was going to offer. And I was going to take the counter offer, which they pretty much countered right where I expected them to. And I don't know why, but my offer was refused. They offered to counter, and I turned it down. I just something inside me said, "Don't do it. Either they take your price or they don't take it at all." And when you're buying something off an estate like that, it's not like the family has anything invested into it. Especially knowing a little bit about this man's background, my thought was that these people probably just want to unload it. It was on the market for a while. I'm not sure why, other than the landscaping being very unhospitable here, and it is. I mean, we do have deer, snakes, rattlesnakes, copperheads, and other critters that you would find in the mountains. And haven't seen any rattlesnakes. I just hear stories about them, but that's how I ended up with this place. And my hopes long term are to develop some sort of food sources. We already scouted the area and, to see what's on this little 2 acres of uh, dense vegetation. I can't talk right. Didn't have my coffee yet today. I'm working on it now. But the land does offer a few treats on it as far as edible plants and stuff like that. We're in the process of clearing some of the down timber so we have a little place to ride the 4x4. And I actually found a spot up on the mountain that it's not level, but it's not that bad as far as steepness that I might be able to put a little garden in. I'm gonna have to get up there and turn the soil and see what the topsoil looks like. I suspect that it's very rich but very rocky underneath, which is okay. Shouldn't be bad as long as I have a good foot or so of topsoil. But that's that's how I got here. That's how I got this place. I started out, like I said, camping, and then the search for a property just that I could call my own and I could call home continued. And I'm not a spring chicken. I'm 62 going on 63 years old, and it's a lot of hard work, especially clearing the down timber and stuff off the mountain so that it's safe to navigate and walk around. I do have lots of help from family, and we already finished off a shed into it was actually a brand new shed that was up here when I bought the property, and we converted it into a little, oh, we call it the castle, but it's like a little house for the grandkids and guests that come up here. It's beautiful. It's not the same motif as what you see behind me. Uh, this is the main cabin. It's 2 stories, and I call it the servants' quarters. And we're going with the outdoorsy, earthy look. I think we got that if you can see from behind me. But anyway, I just thought that I'd introduce myself and give you a little background information on how I've been led to this point in my life. And I hope you enjoy the videos. There'll be more coming. But for now, this is Amy. I'm signing out, and I will try and keep my videos to a minimum as far as time because, like most people, I get bored once you get over 10 minutes, which I already have. So everybody have a good day. This is New Year's Day 2020. May you have a blessed New Year's. May good things come to you and your family.